MultiChoice, Africa's leading entertainment and media provider with a footprint in over 50 countries and more than 23.5 million households, has evolved into a diversified media house offering satellite TV, digital streaming, and technology-driven services like DSTV, Showmax, and SuperSport. P for political, E for economical, S for social, T for technological, E for environmental, and L for legal. Strategic recommendations include prioritizing regulatory engagement, localizing content and pricing, investing in digital infrastructure and mobile-first platforms, implementing robust foreign exchange strategies, expanding renewable energy initiatives, and strengthening compliance structures. This analysis is grounded in Porter's 5 forces theory, stakeholder theory, and ecological modernization theory, providing a comprehensive framework for maintaining competitive advantage in Africa's dynamic media landscape.
As a South African-born broadcaster operating across more than 50 African nations, MultiChoice must navigate a complex political landscape. And that includes managing ownership, rules, local shareholding requirements, broadcasting standards, and licensing frameworks, which vary from country to country. In South Africa, the company operates under the Broadcasting Act, a key piece of legislation that sets the tone of its services. Any amendments to this law could significantly impact MultiChoice. But regulations isn't always a roadblock. In many countries, government actively support local content creation. In Nigeria, the NBC mandates a majority of programming to be local. Kenya requires at least 40% local content, and South Africa insists on 40% local music. By aligning with these policies, MultiChoice builds stronger cultural connections, which will boost its market share across regions. But let's talk risks. Political instability and shifting policies across Africa can disrupt business. But with risk comes opportunity. In uncertain environments, MultiChoice can form strategic alliances with global media players, giving them a competitive edge. Speaking of competition, state-owned broadcasters like SABC in South Africa, KBC in Kenya, and NBC in Nigeria still dominate parts of the media landscape. They often struggle with innovation and funding, but benefit from state protection. MultiChoice must remain vigilant, as these broadcasters pose competitive and regulatory threats. That's where regulatory bodies step in, like South Africa's Competition Commission, Nigeria's NCCPC, and Kenya's Competition Authority. These agencies monitor for anti-competitive behavior, so transparency is key. There's also the matter of content regulation. Across Africa, programming must align with national sensitivities around religion, language, politics, and youth protection. To stay compliant, MultiChoice often customizes content per region, ensuring cultural relevance and avoiding sanctions. In South Africa, oversight comes from 2 key players: ICASA, which handles licensing and content quotas, and the BCCSA, which manages consumer complaints.
Economic factors. Africa continues to demonstrate strong economic resilience even in the face of global uncertainty. By 2025, Africa is projected to be the 2nd fastest growing economy in the world. And for MultiChoice, the economic outlook is promising. Sub-Saharan Africa, that's its core market for MultiChoice, it's expected to grow by 4% through 2026. That growth creates real momentum for entertainment services such as those offered by MultiChoice Africa. Still, there are challenges. Unemployment remains high, especially amongst the youth or the young people. That's MultiChoice's largest audience segment. Take South Africa, for example. Youth unemployment sits around 30%, but there's still silver lining, which is informal employment that is appearing to be thriving. In 2024, it is estimated that the informal sector contributed around 19.5% of jobs in South Africa. That means a flexible, cash-based economy with demand for prepaid TV services. When it comes to price stability, inflation across sub-Saharan Africa is currently averaging 17.6%, though it's gradually coming down. Interest rates, however, vary widely. Nigeria in particular has some of the highest rates, making it tough for consumers to afford premium services. And let's not forget about currency fluctuations. MultiChoice earns revenue in local currencies, but pays for content in US dollars. In 2024 alone, revenue from Nigeria, Ghana, and Zambia cumulatively dropped by 18%, which is a direct hit from currency depreciation. Meanwhile, the South African rand hit a record low of 19 rand 80 cents to the dollar, further squeezing the company's margin. It's a tough economic landscape for MultiChoice Africa, but also one filled with opportunity, especially for companies that stay agile and tuned with local realities.
Social factor is a framework for understanding social dynamics such as democratic trends, cultural attitudes, educational developments, and consumer behaviors. This increasingly drives business direction of MultiChoice. Urbanization. 3.5% rate of urbanization is a result of rising demand for entertainment and digital content within Africa's content. MultiChoice has managed this by expanding the reach of other areas in Africa. Diverse cultural norms. MultiChoice has a presence over 50 plus countries across Africa, with each country representing a diverse cultural norm. As a business, they have been able to tailor content in multiple languages, example Zulu and Swahili, which has strengthened their customer engagement. Demographic. Shift towards younger consumers is directly impacted platforms, preferences, users under 35, representing 65% of Africa's population. They consume 73% of content via the mobile devices rather than traditional television. MultiChoice strategy with Showmax experienced 42% year-on-year growth compared to 8% for traditional DSTV services.
Technological factors. Infrastructures. MultiChoice operates a diverse ecosystem of physical and visual infrastructures such as direct-to-home satellite broadcast networks, example DSTV and GoTV, online streaming platforms such as Showmax and DSTV Stream, fintech and insurance products, border IT support. However, digital terrestrial television is vulnerable to severe weather disruptions, leaving users without access to critical news and information during storms. As of mid-2024, only 38% of Africa's population, which is equivalent to 650 million people, has internet access, compared to the global average of 68%. While this presents an opportunity for MultiChoice online streaming platforms growth, competitors like Netflix and Disney Plus are eroding its market share.
MultiChoice's operations have a range of environmental impacts, particularly in areas such as energy use, waste management, and climate change. In energy consumption, MultiChoice relies heavily on electricity to power its offices, broadcasting infrastructure, media platforms, data centers, and online streaming services. This high energy demand contributes significantly to its carbon footprint. In its 2023 report, the company recorded 75,060 tons of CO2 emissions, a reduction from 86,080 tons the previous year. However, during load shedding periods in South Africa, the use of diesel generators increases emissions. Electronic waste. The company generates electronic waste through products like set-top boxes and related devices. When these become obsolete or damaged, they contribute to hazardous waste containing harmful materials such as lead and mercury. Proper disposal and recycling are essential to minimize environmental and health risks. Sustainable practices. MultiChoice promotes video conferencing as an alternative to air travel, reducing emissions across its multinational operations. While this is a positive step, the implementation of such initiatives is not yet consistent across all its locations.
Legal environment impacting MultiChoice Africa. Regulatory compliance and legal disputes. The legal environment plays a crucial role in shaping MultiChoice Africa's operations, compliance duties, and strategic decisions across different countries. MultiChoice has faced legal challenges in different regions related to broadcasting rights and consumer protection. In Liberia, the Supreme Court ordered local broadcasters to stop airing multi-choice-owned sports content without permission, highlighting the importance of enforcing intellectual property rights. In Nigeria, the company was taken to court by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission for raising subscription prices in defiance of regulatory directives to delay any adjustments during an ongoing review. These incidents demonstrate the diverse legal risk of operating across African legal systems. With labor laws, MultiChoice is subject to national labor laws in all regions where it operates. This includes compliance with legislation such as South Africa's Labour Relations Act of 1995 and the Government Notice of 2002. Non-compliance has previously led to labor strikes and operational disruptions. Adhering to fair employment practices and working conditions remains important to maintaining workforce stability. With content regulation and compliance, the International Commission of Jurists criticized MultiChoice for airing discriminatory content and urged it to align its programming with human rights and national regulatory frameworks. These concerns underscore the importance of regulatory compliance in content curation, language quotas, and broadcasting standards.
Porter's 5 Forces highlights how regulatory barriers, income inequality, and digital taxation limit profit margins. In Nigeria, the FCCPC directed MultiChoice to halt its subscription price increase when the Naira plunged by almost 200%. This has had a negative impact on the company profit margins. The income is a wide 15% earn more than $10 a day, which limit them from affording premium services. The tax policies, VAT on digital services, further squeeze the margins.
Stakeholders theory emphasizes that MultiChoice success depends on strong relationship with local stakeholders, including its customers, employees, suppliers, communities, and shareholders. Ecological modernization theory. MultiChoice's carbon footprint and reliance on diesel generators during load shedding in South Africa highlights sustainability risks. Initiatives like green certified buildings, such as the one at the Randburg office, and partnerships with NAMI Green for e-waste recycling align with ecological modernization theory, merging eco-innovation with operational efficiency.
We recommend the following 6 strategy pillars to improve MultiChoice performance. Politically, engage in proactive policy advocacy to influence local regulatory decisions on content quotas, taxation, and foreign investment. This will shape favorable policy, secure license, and forge alliances with regulators and creators. Economically, the approach is to localize pricing, diversify revenue streams, and hedge foreign exchange risk in volatile markets like Nigeria and Kenya. This will stabilize MultiChoice profits in currency depreciation markets. Socially, we recommend expanding mobile-only streaming options to cater to Africa's youth-dominant mobile-first population. Expand tailor offering using local languages and cultural relevant content to boost engagement and loyalty. This will help introduce MultiChoice to new markets, especially with the Canal Plus deal closing soon. Technology. Accelerate the OTT transition and invest in proprietary infrastructure. This will position MultiChoice ahead of global competitors like Netflix, who have expanded to African markets that MultiChoice has enjoyed dominance in for 30 plus years. Environmentally, scaling up renewable energy, reduce e-waste, launching carbon offset programs, and align business growth with sustainability. Legally, establish regional compliance task force to monitor and respond to regulatory changes across different jurisdictions. This would assist MultiChoice to strengthen labor relations and legal compliance through continuous engagement with labor unions and adhere to employment legislations.
In closing, from our research and application of theoretical underpinning, we have demonstrated the following. MultiChoice Africa stands at a pivotal moment, navigating rapid digital transformation, socioeconomic disparities, and increasing competition from global media giants. Despite these challenges, MultiChoice has shown resilience through adaptability, cultural sensitivity, and strategic foresight. MultiChoice's key strengths include a strong investment in localized content,
robust digital platforms like Showmax and DSTV Stream, and the application of frameworks such as Porter's 5 Forces, stakeholder theory, and ecological modernization theory. By aligning commercial objectives with societal expectations and technological trends, MultiChoice is not just sustaining its leadership, it is shaping the future of media across Africa. In a world defined by connectivity, diversity, and on-demand content, MultiChoice is poised to lead, inspire, and transform African storytelling on a global scale.